Hey guys, so welcome back to another installment of these nutrition video series. Um, Today I wanted to actually talk about getting sick and preventing yourself from getting sick. Um, it's my favorite thing to try and do because I really, really hate getting sick. It hurts and I get angry and I'm just pissed and you're so useless. You can't think, you don't want to read because your brain's, all you want to do is watch Netflix and, waste time. So my favorite thing to do is try and prevent myself from getting sick. And the first thing you want to do is eat well. And that's, oh, okay, eat well. Um, but in my experience, what happens when you stop eating well, past a day, one day of kind of having a cheat day, once you go beyond that, you start um, it's just a barrage of unhealthy fats, unhealthy this, a lot of sugar, no nutrients, blah, blah, blah. And the body eventually just starts to wither, and anything that's going on in your life, if you're stressed, if you run into someone who was a little sick, normally that wouldn't get you sick, but because your body has been eating, you've been eating crap, your body's just in a lower level of performance, and it's more susceptible to um, disease or, just the common cold or whatever. So, for example, last week, I got back from Brazil and I was feeling great. No jet lag or anything because I was eating well and supplementing. And I got back, and for three and a half, 4 days, I was just kind of eating plenty of junk food throughout each day. Not like one bag, like one, bag of natural Cheetos or something. I would do like 2 bags and then and then I wouldn't eat like as much as I would for dinner. So anyway, after a few days, you just get, the body just starts decaying. And sure enough, that was like 4.5, 5 days in, I started feeling sick and I recognized it. And so I did what I know that works for me because I've been trial and erroring this for years. And so I started my immune protocol that I like to do. And it's evolved, and there's many different ones and whatever. Um, but the key to this is identifying those very subtle cues that your body just has and sometimes, makes in order to get your attention, um, that are indicative and are signals of you're getting sick. And if you can identify those, catch them ahead of time before you're definitely sick, and take action to correct whatever's going on, you can prevent the common cold, the flu, all of that. But you have to catch it ahead of time. Once you're sick, and that's it. There's all you can do is take ibuprofen and whatever just to make it hurt less, and just you got to ride it out. Once you're sick, you're sick. So, but you can prevent it when you see and feel it's coming on. So the first thing you got to do is get good at knowing your body's signals. For me, I'll try and give you a few examples. My eyes get like hot. They get kind of dry, but they definitely get hot. And that's when I know I'm either dehydrated or I'm getting sick. Another thing is, certain feelings in my throat that only come before a sickness, and are kind of telling of, all right, you're gonna get a sore throat soon. You've got to catch that ahead of time. What are some other things? Certain types of headaches. Sometimes you get headaches here or in back or down low or whatever. For me, it's like a low down headache and it feels a certain way, and that's when I know my body is like being invaded and is trying to fight it and get rid of stuff. Oh man, there's some other good ones. That feeling when you think you're getting sick, and then 10 minutes later you feel great, and you're like, oh no, I'm not getting sick. And then 20 minutes later you feel like you're getting sick again. And then 10 minutes after that you're like, you feel, oh no, I'm good, I feel fine. That back and forth means you're getting sick. It doesn't mean you're not getting sick. You know, when you kind of go back and forth and you're like, okay, that means I'm probably not getting sick. No, that means you're getting sick. It's just you're not sick yet. So you go from, I'm starting to feel sick, back to, oh no, I'm fine, I'm normal. So that, and that I remember that so well. So many times I notice it. I go back and forth in, like an hour, and then that happens throughout the day. And if you pay attention to it and take it seriously, you can prevent your sickness. And if you don't, you're going to get sick. So those are the kind of preemptive. I don't know. Those are some things that you want to be good at and identify how your body reacts. You might get another thing that happens to me is right here, like not in my lungs, but like right at the, I don't even know what this is, if it's like the top of my lungs or the base of my, esophagus or whatever. But right there, it starts getting irritated, and that's when I know that I'm gonna have lung issues in the next few days. I'm gonna have a chest cold or whatever. And again, if you catch it ahead of time, you can do something about it. So those are the kind of things that you want to try and get good at. As for my protocol, this is where it gets. Well, if it hasn't been interesting for you up until now, this is where it gets interesting. There's a bunch of different things that you can do to help you, to prevent you from getting sick in terms of food and supplements. I don't quite know where to start, but the first is you need to drink like twice as much water as you do normally. That's one, because you're probably dehydrated already if you're getting sick. That really helps the body get sick, being dehydrated. So the first thing you want to do is just drink water consistently. You can do a little, lemon in it or cucumber or whatever, but no juice. Juice does not count. Juice and sugar feeds disease, from cancer to the common cold. So, more on what to eat in a sec, but water and tea, or just tea. Just make herbal tea for the next 5 days. That'll taste great, and it'll help. And the hotness helps a lot too. So 1, hydrate. 2, you got to start eating well. Just as, for example, when you go to the gym and you get a good workout in, the body's metabolism goes up, its need for energy and food goes up, and you end up eating a lot more. And even if you don't end up eating a lot more, your body is signaling to you to eat more. And that's because it needs more energy and nutrients and building blocks to make new cells, to revitalize the ones that have been drained through the exercise, and yada yada. But it's generally agreed that the more you work out, the more you want to eat. And if you're a weightlifter or a bodybuilder who's trying to gain mass, the hallmark of weight gain is eating more food. Eating more food past like where you're satiated. You need to eat food past that point. And so ask any weightlifter, and that's what they'll tell you. I believe the same thing holds true when you're stressed. And so this can be stress like traveling, or stressed like you're getting sick. When the body's getting sick, it's stressed. It needs to mobilize and fight the infection, and give it the building blocks to do that. Give it the resources to do that, which are food, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, bunch of cofactors, etc. So you need to eat more. Well, eat what? Well, back to what I was saying, sugar feeds disease. I'm not a doctor, I'm no expert, but I do read. I read a lot about these things. Sugar feeds cancer, sugar feeds the common cold, sugar feeds everything in between. Some people say, diabetes, 1, 2, heart disease, and hypertension. Too much sugar damages our arteries, and so what you want to do is eat a bunch of fat and fiber when you're sick. Fat because a lot of certain fats like coconut oil are themselves antiviral and antibacterial and antimicrobial. So you should just be eating coconut oil like from a spoon every hour, like one or 2 tablespoons like every hour. That sounds like a lot, but if it's too much, just take it down a little bit. But you're trying not to get sick, so desperate times call for desperate measures. Other good fats to eat are, and what I've been into a lot lately, are like beef, tallow, lamb tallow, bison tallow. It's just rendered animal fat, and it's shelf stable. It's solid. It's packed with nutrients. So that's another good source. And then, otherwise, just eat a healthy, low sugar, low carb, high fat diet. And now fiber. We need fiber because depending on the illness, and this is where, depending on what you have or what you think you have, you want to do different things. Fiber is one of the largest mechanisms through which the body gets rid of toxins. So if your body is toxic, or even if, and I don't know a ton about this, but I have a feeling that fiber also helps get rid of the casualties of your immune system battling it out, which is good because you need to get rid of those things. So fiber, easiest ways to do fiber: chia seeds and psyllium, because they're like a supplement. You can take them like a supplement, or just eat a bunch of celery, a bunch of cucumbers, and doing those things, automatically brings in that plant water that's good for you. So it'll keep you hydrated. And then on this absorbing toxins topic, there is coconut charcoal and things like earth clays, zeolites, bentonite. You can get these things kind of anywhere. You can get them online. You can get them at the grocery store. These, when hydrated with water, they absorb negatively charged toxins, heavy metals, and other things, and they can also help keep you from getting like food poisoning too, if you're eating sketchy food. And so on this, and again, I just have a feeling here that these toxin binding things, like fiber, like zeolites, bentonite, and coconut charcoal, help your body eliminate what it's trying to get rid of, the invaders. So those are kind of where you want to start, kind of. A point to be said about the fibers, like chia seeds and psyllium, and the bentonite, zeolite, and coconut charcoal, is those have to be taken away from all of your other supplements and medications, because otherwise they absorb those medications and render them inactive. It's coconut charcoal is famously used in ER, at hospitals in the ER when people have overdosed on heroin or I don't know about heroin, but painkillers or really anything, overdosing on Tylenol. They pump you full of coconut charcoal, just charcoal, I don't know, and that works to bind a lot of the toxins or excessive whatever that you've ingested. So if you're which we're about to get into, supplements and herbs and things, if you're taking those, you have to take those 2 hours apart, before or after, from the coconut charcoal, the bentonite, the zeolite, and the fibers are a little more forgiving, but they will still absorb certain things. So, okay, now some of my favorite supplements for preventing illness are, one of my favorites is oregano oil. It is super powerful. It is strong on the tongue. Like one drop feels like you ate a field of oregano. I mean, it is spicy. But it is powerfully antiviral, antibacterial, etc. And so sometimes I even inhale the fumes a little bit, like not too much of the liquid, but the fumes if I'm having chest things. And I swear it helps. But what you do, how it's generally used is comes in like either capsules or like a dropper liquid, and you just eat it. And if you're having a viral or bacterial, and again, I don't know a ton about this, but I know what's worked for me, and I read and I'm fairly informed. So take all this with a grain of salt. But I've seen it work for me, and I'm trying to help other people do it too. So oregano oil, I love it. I take a lot of it when I'm sick. It's good because it kills bad bacteria, but it also is so powerful that it kills a lot of good bacteria in your gut. And so, it's not something you want to take every day necessarily, and it's not. It's something you want to take with, be respectful with. It is very powerful, and it has the chance to kind of alter your gut biome, slightly or permanently or temporarily or whatever, but it will. But if you're sick and you've got a bad bacteria in there, it's gonna help knock it out. My second favorite, not even second favorite, one of my favorite other supplements to take are any blend of traditionally Chinese herbs. So you can get a lot of these blended herbs. They'll come in capsules, or they'll be tinctures in a dropper, and they'll have like 20 different Chinese herbs in there. And one of my favorites is called Cold Snap. There's a bunch of others, and really I recommend starting on that the moment, because again, all these things work well, but they will prevent you from getting a cold if you use them preventatively. So you get started on those Chinese herbs as soon as you can, and I literally will take them every 20 minutes. Just a little bit, kind of what the recommended amount on the bottle, but I'll do it every 20 minutes. If I can remember, and again, never with the coconut charcoal and things. So that's kind of number two. With all these things, I will take, vitamin C, CoQ10, certain antioxidants, astaxanthin, any other tinctures, hawthorn, cayenne. I just thought of OSHA, so let's chat about OSHA. OSHA is one of the most kind of powerful lung supplements. It tastes so strongly. It's pretty bad, but it's powerful, and it's great for the chest. So OSHA, OSHA. So that one's great. What else? Trying to think of what I've got. Medicinal mushrooms. Medicinal mushrooms work great preventatively. Again, once you're sick, you're sick. Nothing works. Nothing works once you're sick. You're sick. Write it out. But medicinal mushrooms like chaga, spelled CHAGA, turkey tail, reishi, REISHI, um, are some of the best. Cordyceps are also great, generally thought of as a lung, thought of for the lungs, but also great for cardiovascular and many other things. Those are all great medicinal mushrooms that you should get started on as soon as you are starting to feel sick. They are they're antioxidants. They are anti-carcinogenic. They're anti-mutagenic. They'll protect your DNA. Medicinal mushrooms are some of the most powerful herbs out there, and they can help you prevent you from getting sick. And again, you can take those every 20 minutes. They're especially the just pulverized, versions of them. They're foods, so you can take a lot of them, and that goes the same for herbs. Herbs are herbs. Herb extracts are extracts, so they're not just the herbs. They're a very concentrated form of whatever active components are in the herbs, and so you don't want to take a ton of those. But even then, I think you can. But with herbs and medicinal mushrooms, you can kind of treat those like foods. And you can take a lot of them. And if you're trying to not get sick, a therapeutic amount of medicinal mushrooms and herbs are what you want to do. And by therapeutic, I mean, mega dosing. I'm not recommending anybody mega dose on anything because I'm not you and I don't know what's safe for you and what's a good idea for you, but I'm telling you what I do. And that's it. So what else can you do? Man, what else do I do? Well, this other point that I want to make about getting sick, I had always heard that the body, you get a fever when you're sick with certain things because your body's trying to destroy the virus by heating it past its natural, state. I don't know if that's true. I should have looked that up before I made this video, but I'm pretty sure that it is, or that's one of the. I'm sure there's a lot of things that are going on there, but I think that does help to kill some certain viruses. To mimic that, you can eat extremely spicy foods and a lot of them, and I have seen that knock out certain stomach bugs or just general chest bugs, head bugs, whatever. I love spicy food. I can put, a half a bottle of hot sauce on whatever I'm eating, and I do all the time. So this is easy for me. This making eating a lot of spicy foods when you're sick. But what I do is eat really spicy foods, and not just like hot sauce. I'll put hot sauce. I would douse when I'm eating with hot sauce, and then I'll take like really hot peppers, like habaneros, like Thai chili peppers, jalapenos, and I'll put that on top of the hot sauce, on top of whatever I put on. And I'm used to it, so I can handle it. But I swear, it's something that people should be using more of for trying to prevent certain bugs and prevent getting sick. I don't know. Those are some of my favorite things that I do when I'm sick, or when I feel like I'm getting sick. Aloe vera. You can drink aloe vera. You have to get the drinkable aloe vera, but you can get it at any supermarket anywhere. And you should. Well, what I do is I drink a bunch of that. Like for example, in the last 3 days, I've drank a half gallon of aloe juice, and most people a half gallon that would last them 3 months, 2 months with doing an ounce every day or something. Again, aloe vera is a food, and yeah, the aloe vera water is the aloe vera juice is kind of an extract, but it's a food, and you can drink a lot of it, and so I do. It's very cleansing for the stomach, and especially with all the hot, spicy foods, the aloe vera might help also. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. I know this was a 25-minute video, but I hope it helped, and I'm gonna write a blog post about this. I kind of already have, and I've got a few of these protocols out there that I do, but that's the base. That's what I've discovered works the best. I don't get into a ton of antioxidants. I'll do some. I don't get into all these vitamins. Blah, blah, blah. If I'm not vitamin deficient, which I'm not, because I eat really well and I supplement wisely. I don't take too many supplements. I don't even take most vitamin supplements because I get most of those from my food. Um, but I do some. So it's a long list, and it depends on what you're feeling. If you're feeling, I don't know. It's tough to say, but there's a lot you can do to prevent yourself from getting sick. I've done it many times, and sometimes very successfully, and sometimes I don't get to it until too late, and I supplement to no avail. And so it is back to the point of you have to catch it ahead of time. You have to catch it before it turns into the real sickness, because then you're screwed. There's nothing to do. So I hope this helps. Check out my website and blog for more information on this. I have a few pictures that I've taken that I've sent to people when they're getting sick. They say, "What should I do?" I just send them this. I've got a few pictures that I send them of just get this, and this. Take them, and you'll be good. But I'll try and write a little blog post about this too. But yeah, for now, that's it. And thanks for watching. I hope this gives you some good ideas about things you can do to keep yourself from getting sick.